How's it going, everybody? It's Ishinigami here to bring you another dose of daily dismal Disney, whatever. I'm stealing Clownfish's fucking segue. I have no shame using it because we are talking about Disney, and I mean, why else would I not want to use it? Whatever. Furthermore, I would like to go on to talk about the film that is about to be released for Disney Animations that is celebrating the 100 years of Disney itself. Wish. Now, this film, I'm going to be putting in a few clips to be able to add context of what I was talking about. But from what I was able to write here, let's see, and also put timestamps in, I'm going to go over a few things that early reviewers kind of went over in Wish. So that way it adds context, and hopefully you're not just saying I'm like some, white looking motherfucker hating on some fucking film because I'm a male, whatever. So I'm just trying to provide context. Thank God that is muted, but whatever. I'm gonna show y'all what the early reviewers are already putting down here. So on Metacritic, it says it releases on the 22nd. Not too sure, which if it really did release on the 22nd, that would put it at Wednesday. So I mean, hey, early showings, right? But for the critics that were able to review it early, they've already given it a 50% here on Metacritic. And something else to take note of is that for Rotten Tomato, it's sitting at a 64. So obviously for them, they're considering that fresh. It's to everyone's discretion, right? Something I definitely wanted to go over. Spoiler warning from here on out. Going over the leaks that or I don't think you say really leaks. It's just people posting of what happened in the film, right? So someone went out to a preview screening, and they're saying here that it was hot garbage. Some decent songs, but it was so rushed. Screenplay as meticulous and kid-oriented as you could possibly imagine. Zero attempt to appeal to adults like the Disney's greats. In reference of that, they're more so talking about like how previous movies like Lion King, Tarzan, stuff like that, even Emperor's New Groove, stuff like, they would be able to put in adult jokes that would appease the parents taking the kids to the film, while also throwing in the visual humor of like getting hurt or other funny gags that kids will find funny. In this, it doesn't seem like they're doing that at all. The whole thing is under 80 minutes, no room for anything to breathe. Songs come one after another and leave no impact. For instance, Welcome to Rosas hits in the first 3 minutes, then 3 minutes later it's at all costs. 5 minutes later, we are into this wish. This is a word fucking jumble for me to go through, so I'm sorry if I sound dyslexic, but I promise you I'm not. I just can't read. Anyways, another 5 and I'm a star kicks off. And then after that, 4 fucking songs in the first 25 odd minutes. That's pretty impressive, honestly, by Disney standards. And then after that, you got the villain status is totally unjustified. He does nothing wrong and keeps the kingdom content, but Asha still chooses to stage a coup based on her feelings that he's wrong. So I'll provide context here. There you go. All right. Going on to the next portion of the film. I will probably put in one more clip before I read just so that way this makes a little bit more sense, but let it be like.
So all these little bubbles here, those are the wishes of the people. And she spots her grandfather's wish. And every year, what the king does is it's a wish ceremony. He bestows upon a few of the citizens their wish, so their wish will come true. And the thing is that Asha realizes that not everyone's going to get their wish. Some people will. It seems like maybe Magnifico's doing it for political reasons. And she begins to push back. And this upsets King Magnifico. And so much so that he doesn't hire her. He kicks her out of the castle and basically tells her that her grandfather and her mother will never get their wish. And so Asha walks off, big screening with the filmmakers. And here's a few things they said about Asha. She's an activist. And then Ariana DeBose, yes, she's an activist. And in this movie, she learns to step into her power. So that's, I mean, quite frankly, that's what this film is. It's about a woman who has a goal to for her people to release their wishes, and she and her friends step into their power and defeat the king.
All right. From there on out, poorly defined conflict bogged down in exposition like Frozen 2. Are we saving the wishes or the metaphorical concept? What exactly is so bad about the system in Rosas? Everyone is happy. And in context of what they're talking about there after the clip that I played, she finds out what's happening and all that such. And because she disagrees with how he's saving the land and, keeping everybody happy to be able to prosper and not being attacked, whatever. He is using their wishes, but also at later points he is granting them, right? But because Asha ends up feeling somewhat slighted in some fashion, she ends up trying to stage a coup, like they stay here, and that ends up backfiring her from all that other shit, because then her grandfather and mother aren't able to get their wishes. It's like, you didn't really win in this. Thanks, babe. Anyways, after that, it's also mired in the awful, quirky, adorable vibe that's plagued these movies since Tangled. Half the dialogue is the did that just happen? Or awkward. I have no response to that bullshit from an MCU film. The screenplay is on par with Raya and The Last Dragon. Atrocious, as this person puts it. And 2 minutes sequence spent on twerking chickens. Not a laugh in the house. Jeez. Bad WOM is going to kill this. Total disaster and a shameful showing for what's meant to be Walt's 100 celebration. And that's just people posting the review, right? Let me know down in the comments if you've shared any similar vibe just off of the trailer, right? And if it's not off of that, thank God that's not being able to capture, because Jesus Christ. Yeah, let me know, because off of these other clips that I'll play remaining.
The medium shot here. Sorry, I'm getting my shots mixed up, but this is a scene from a Food Network television show.
Oh my God, it totally is. But what it does is it shows you, okay, the early Disney animators and artists, they were inspired by, what were they inspired by? Art. They were inspired by like fine art in the world. They were inspired by classic literature. This wish is inspired by Disney stuff and what people experience. That's why I think the new generation of corporate like artists, they're not bringing anything new to the table.
And this one just feels like a step back. I mean, I have to say that this image is indicative of what most of the film is, and it is I just can't imagine Walt saying, this is how we do it at Disney Animation. It's like, I mean, Asha is exactly the same at the start of the film as she was at the end of the film. The entire story of her is a quest. She has to do a thing. She has to defeat King Magnifico. How? With the help of her friends. You know, she has no fatal flaw. She has no, and this is Disney was just known for this stuff. You know, there's every hero. What makes us relatable to what makes us relate to heroes is they have some flaw that we have in our own personal lives, and reaching the quest means that they have to overcome that flaw. And so when we see the character overcome the flaw, we as the audience feel like we can overcome that flaw too, and therefore now the movie becomes inspiring. Here she's an activist. She doesn't like what the king is doing. And so she's going to go back and undo what the king is doing. The king's not exactly doing the world's worst thing, but, you know, we can.
Yep, that doesn't catch. This doesn't seem to be quite the celebration that I think Walt would appreciate or even admire. They're basically spitting on his grave at this point, having fired everybody who was previously staffed and now just letting amateurs run wild. And their skills are obviously showing through these films when, flop after flop, they're not able to produce the great box office income that other films had in the recent past, right? They've all just been a fluke in the wind. Nobody's really giving them much attention. Some of them are like, oh, well, it'll come out in streaming in a few days, so, you know, why bother? And that's pretty much been the detriment to a lot of Disney's films lately. But maybe I'm wrong. Are you guys excited for Wish? I can give a fuck less. You know, my daughter enjoys Elemental, whatever, and that's saying something. But a lot of these recent films haven't been trying as hard. Luckily, that film did well on streaming, but not as much in theaters because people know that they can just wait to watch it on streaming, right? So, we'll see how it goes. Let me know down in the comments what you'll think. Asha got me signing out. Y'all have a good morning, good evening, good night. That's going to be it for me. Bye.